Thanks for keeping it locked and loaded here on IndiMusic TV. I am Tim No.37 Martinez, and we're still rocking out at Vans Warped Tour. I'm hanging out with Andy of Every Time I Die. I haven't seen this guy or this band in person since my days with Uranium on Fuse. So, my God, good to see you
Great
again.
to see you.
Good to her. So, tell me, how has Warped Tour been for you so far this year?
Great. I lost 17 pounds in a week and a half.
There you go.
A lot of calorie burn. It's been good. Yeah, I haven't eaten a lot. I get up, I load every morning. I try to be as try to be as helpful as possible because it's a tour, like a festival tour. Yeah. So I'm always bouncing around trying to ask people if they need help.
And that's really nice of you, though.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just okay, try to be an able body. But I've been burning calories like crazy.
It's not necessarily
No, it's not a
bad
thing at all. Yeah.
So tell me, what is your favorite thing about Warped Tour? What is the peak of this experience been this year for you so far?
I like the hustle. I like the fact that a lot of these bands, some of the older bands like us, Real Big Fish, Less Than Jake, Newfound Glory, you kind of have to be on point because the schedule is really different, and instead of getting complacent and being here we go, it's 8 o'clock, we go on stage, or whatever, it's oh, we're playing at 11:30 today, okay, we gotta rush, let's go, or it just kind of makes you learn how to be patient. You know what I mean?
Well, so I can imagine, because if you don't go on, say, till 6:30 at night, but you're still up by 9:30 to get your schedule that day.
You're just sitting around, you know what I mean? And you get to watch bands. And
one thing I wanted to ask you is, how do you and the boys in your band kill some downtime when you do have it? What is something that you like to do?
I go to the gym. I'll usually get away and go to the gym. I've started pro wrestling, so
that's what's up.
Yeah. I did when I was a kid, and then the band started, so I couldn't. So then now that I'm old, I might as well start doing it again. But anyways, I usually like to go away, so then I get to come back and it's kind of a fresh start. So if we play at 6 or 7, I'll usually go get food or something like that just to get away, and then come back, and you're oh, okay, cool,
Get away from the madness,
of course,
and recharge.
Yeah, I'm way into the recharge.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you keep yourself going.
Yeah, exactly.
What is one thing that you would say is a downfall of doing Warped Tour? What is something that you're not the biggest fan of?
I think it's a pro and a con, where it's just the time. There's no way to actually set a schedule. You just don't know. You can't you know what I mean? You can't go the day before and be I think tomorrow at noon I'm going to go do this. Because tomorrow at noon you're playing. All right, cool. So you really can't schedule anything. It's just you kind of go by their flow. That's the only thing. That's but you just work around it, and we're all grown up, so we can figure that out.
One thing is never boring.
Of course. No, it's definitely never boring. Yeah. But we the guys in the band, we play cornhole, beanbags or whatever.
Yes.
So we're really into that. I don't know. We're idiots, so we like to do dumb stuff. We're I don't know if there's woods, we'll just run in the woods and do stuff in the woods. I don't know.
Make your own horror movie.
Of course, yeah.
Get a camera.
Stuff that you do when you're 20. Now we're 38, and we're still doing the same stuff.
I'm in the same age range, and I'm still doing the same things. Some that I was doing in my 20s too.
It's pranking the younger bands, stuff like that.
You gotta haze them a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially when you're as young as Crown the Empire.
Of course, yeah. Well, Wage War. We took Wage War on tour last year sometime, and we were on a tour with them last year, and they're really young. They only have done 4 tours or something like that, and this isn't a prank, but earlier this morning, me and the singer were out there, and I was listening to Steely Dan. I was changing my guitar strings, and he's oh man, Steely Dan's great, huh? And I'm just yeah, you're 20, okay, cool, well, it's cool, you like some good music, blah blah blah, and he, and then Bill, the guy that runs the sound on the stage, he played the Judgment Night soundtrack,
nice.
Through the front PA, and that the Slayer Ice-T song came on, yes. And I heard LA 92, and I was my ears perked up. I was he's listening to Judgment Night. I ran out and whatever, and I come back and I'm oh, Bill's playing this thing, and Bill's doing sound for Wage War, and he goes, oh yeah, man, he makes us sound really good. I was how do you know? And he goes, I guess I don't. I was like, yeah, we're like playing on stage. I don't know if Every Time I Die's ever sounded good. Like, I'm always on stage like playing. Like, how do you know that? And I was just kept busting his balls, and the kid's just like, you could see him start sweating.
You're
and
giving
he's
him
just
a
like,
complex.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, I'm just messing with you, man. I'm sure he probably makes you sound awesome.
That's fantastic.
I'm just messing with you. And he was like, God, man, you really had me going there. And I was like, but really, though, like how do you know if they sound good? So.
Bring it full
Yeah,
circle.
and he was like just walked away. It was really funny.
So let me ask you something. Every Time I Die has been around for a long time
Yeah.
now, and you guys are definitely one of the best metal bands
Thank
that
you.
are in the game. What do you want the fans to take away that come see you play at Warped Tour that might not have heard of you guys or seen you guys if they've been living under a rock?
That's the weird thing is like it's all young kids.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think I just want people to know that we stand out. Like that's it. Like and it's I think with the way we move on stage and our music is different like than
Absolutely.
everything else. Everything out there is and this isn't me talking crap, but like everything is pretty much the same. There's like if you're a heavy band, you kind of all have the same sound, and I'm grateful that we have a different sound.
You definitely
Yeah.
created your own niche
Yeah, for sure.
in this scene and in this world.
Yeah,
which
and
is
it's nice, and it would just be like the younger kids like I think sense that like a lot of kids come up and they're like, man, we never really heard of you guys, and I was here because. Whitechapel played right before you guys, and I was like, oh, I'll stay to hear this band, and then like they're just like, man, I'm sold, like whatever, I drank the Kool-Aid, I'm in,
That's awesome.
and it's awesome. That's the best feeling. And like I still get like when a guy's like there was a guy yesterday. He's like, man, I'm 49 years old. Today was my 49th show. I've
Awesome.
seen you guys play, and it's like, wow, really, 49 shows. And then you're like, oh, that's cool. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that guy keeps coming back. But like when that 14-year-old kid is just
He
like,
drank the gallon of Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
So
He's been drinking it consistently.
he's got the IV.
Yeah. And but it's when a 14-year-old kid or a 15-year-old kid comes up to you and he says, oh man, like I'm in, like whatever I'm coming to see you guys whenever you guys come around. You're like, okay, cool, we got a new one.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
What advice would you give as a veteran yourself to this younger generation of bands and fans that
Yeah.
are just getting into this industry and scene?
One thing I always try to tell people is like there's always, and this is like in life in general, like I guess you put this at anything, like there's always a plateau no matter what. And like everybody always thinks that like once you get to that plateau, like it's just so easy to lay down. Like it's the easiest thing in the world to just give up and just find something else, right? So like everything I try to tell people is just like that plateau is like that's the test to see if you are going to be creative. Like when it comes to a band, like if you want to like step it up and go to that next level, like that's where you find yourself. Like it's not like at that point in time you're basically imitating what you like. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
like if you're a band that grew up listening to Nirvana, your sound's going to be generally close to Nirvana, and then you're going to hit that plateau, and then boom, that's where like you find your niche. That's like where you were. Like Every Time I Die hit a plateau, and then like boom, we broke through it, and like we found who we were. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And that's like the one thing I always try to say is just like stay on just on course. Like don't worry about that plateau. It's gonna happen. You're gonna bust through it, and then that's where your band's gonna be good, because that's the first test.
Wise words. When you hit that plateau, just keep pushing
Yeah.
forward. Same thing
Yeah.
with weight loss too, and all
Everything,
that stuff. That's
anything,
everything in life. You're right.
Honestly, studying. I mean, like if you're in college, you're gonna hit a plateau where you're just like, and then you're gonna bust through it, and whatever, anything.
Very true. For those of our viewers that don't know about Every Time I Die or want to check out more, where can they find out more information?
Everytimeidie.net. We have our own like website, a .net. You can find us on any social media at Every Time I Die. If you want to follow me, the stupid things I do, it's at Andy Complains on everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I very rarely complain though. Like that's the worst part. Is like I picked that name because I figured if I didn't do that, I wouldn't complain in real life. But
Understood.
then I never complain. I only complain in real life. So like the name is just me being a miserable old guy. But yeah, there's a bunch of dumb stuff. My pro wrestling stuff is on there. I do this thing called Pythons. It's like half like motivational speaker, half like gym bro like gimmick thing.
Sounds great.
We have like T-shirts and stuff. It's pretty funny. But yeah. There it is. Right. We have a new record coming out called Low Teens. If you ever want to know anything about the band and you can't remember the band's name, go to Epitaph Records. You'll find everything there. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, thank you so much for taking some time to sit with IndiMusic TV. This is Andy from Every Time I Die. Check out all the social medias and websites that he mentioned.
One thing, you guys don't understand how hot it is in this room right now.
It is.
It is like cold outside. And when I walked in this room, one, it's dead quiet out there, and it seems like there's a funeral. And there's like weird like funeral things, like weird paintings on the wall.
This is true, and you're not seeing this.
Nobody's smiling in there, in that room, and it's miserably hot.
Yeah.
It's like you're in like a different portal. Like when you enter the door, you get hit with heat, and then just sadness. There's like just sadness in this hallway outside.
Well, I hope
it's nice in here.
Up a little bit, even though it is wickedly hot in here. Dude,
It's
it was
so
so
hot.
good to see
Awesome.
you again.
Good to see
Thank
you
you
too.
so much.
Yeah.
I'm Tim No.37 Martinez. This is IndiMusic TV reporting from Vans Warped Tour. Keep it locked and loaded. We have a lot more coming for you.
Hell yeah. What's up? This is Andy from Every Time I Die, and you're watching IndiMusic TV.